The body changes as a result of long-term exercise. And just with the term aspect of this, or how long we're talking about months and years of very many repeated training sessions we're talking about here. And this affects the body. And the effects part of this, do that in a different colour, the effects part of this, we call these adaptations. The body actually physiologically adapting or changing as a result of the training that's being done. So let's address that. I've got our performers again just to sort of guide us and to help us to understand what they might be. So with all of these performers, for example, we might anticipate that over months and years of training, we would experience an up arrow, they would experience an up arrow in heart size. Now that seems a slightly odd thing to say, but let's give it a more technical term. We're going to call this hypertrophy of the heart. Hypertrophy, nice word to build in if you're able to. And what we mean by hypertrophy is that the heart increases in size. And you might want to be specific here, particularly the muscular wall around the left ventricle of the heart, which of course expels blood out through the aorta to the whole body apart from the lung, and that of course needs to be particularly powerful. That is very, very positive for lots of implications health-wise and sporting or exercising. But we also look at a second point. We this time get a decrease, a down arrow in resting pulse rate. Okay, now, or heart rate, that might be another way of putting that, but it's exactly the same as this point here, or they relate to each other. Because the heart muscle wall itself is stronger, it expels more blood, therefore the number of resting beats per minute is fewer, because we have got this notion of more blood leaving per contraction. So more blood leaving per contraction is called stroke volume. So we get an increase in stroke volume, both at rest and during exercise, because the heart is more powerful, it's stronger. Really, really useful. And my last point for this particular session, guys, there are lots of other long-term effects, but these are some nice summary ones. We also get an increase in lactate tolerance, okay, lactate tolerance, all right? And what we mean by that is that, let's say this performer here, this one here, this, I think it's yoga she's doing, but this performer here, she's able to actually tolerate greater buildup of lactic acid in this particular muscle, in this case the gastrocnemius, for example, or here in the deltoids, and therefore she can keep working anaerobically for a little bit longer during exercise, and that becomes very, very important in order for high performance work or high intensity work to continue for slightly longer periods of time. That's all from me. Cheers.